Hi friends, if you're like me, and I know I am, you want to talk a little bit about Lightroom and comparing it to Camera Raw. So this is going to be Lightroom 101, but I'm also going to talk about some of my favorite features of Lightroom, which might not be features that you're using, so hopefully this will be interesting and helpful for everyone. But I specifically wanted to talk about this because I was having a conversation with Nicole recently in Patreon messages, and she was saying that she had picked up a book by Scott Kelby in 2010, and she ended up primarily using Bridge and Camera Raw as a result, and how she would really like to start outsourcing, and she was feeling a little bit overwhelmed by Lightroom and just jumping into a new program. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between Lightroom and Camera Raw and get you guys set up in Lightroom if it's not something that you've already done. So yeah, let's jump into it. So I want to talk about what Lightroom is exactly, just because I was reading some articles that talked about the difference between Camera Raw and Lightroom, and I felt like they were not completely accurate because I was curious about the information that was out there and it didn't seem entirely accurate. So I wanted to talk about the differences between what Lightroom and Camera Raw do. Basically, when it comes to editing, they are exactly the same. You open images up into Camera Raw and it looks like this. You have all of your sliders, you've got curves, details, color mixer, etc. The same exact stuff happens in Lightroom. You import your images into Lightroom and you get, your profiles, your sliders, your curves, your color grading, your detail. Everything is exactly the same if you are in the develop panel in Lightroom, which is up here. There's library, develop, map, book, slideshow, print, web, etc. So if you're in the develop module, it is the exact same program as Camera Raw. The real difference is that whenever you import your images into Lightroom, you are importing them into a catalog. So Lightroom is a catalog that points to where your pictures are in the hard drive. I use one for the whole year. I have a video about that I'll link to below. It's just showing you where images are on different hard drives. This is showing me all of the images that exist on this hard drive. This is the images that exist on my Macintosh. There's only a couple. So it knows where all of those images are on your hard drives, and it is saving all of the changes that you're making to the sliders to the Lightroom catalog. So it's all saved in one nice, neat little place instead of you having thousands and thousands of XMP sidecar files, which is the small file that's created whenever you're editing in Camera Raw. The thing that people get wrong in these articles over and over is this big fear that if something happens to your Lightroom catalog, it becomes corrupted. If you accidentally delete it, then all of your work is gone. All of those changes are gone. And it's kind of true, but also just like back up your computer regularly. And if you want to, you can also have it automatically write your changes to XMP files. So you still have the option of opening them up in Camera Raw if that's something you wanted to do, and it will have all of your Lightroom changes. It's not a big scary thing. You can easily transition back if you're having a hard time with it, as long as you are writing to XMP files. So a concern that I had from a patron one time was that they didn't want to have to create a whole bunch of new presets to be able to work in a new program. So they were worried about moving their presets over from Camera Raw to Lightroom, but they are both Adobe programs. They both use the exact same presets. They work seamlessly together. They are saved a little bit different, but it's the exact same information. You will not have to make a new preset. It won't look even the slightest bit different. And just to show you again, this is what Camera Raw looks like. This is where my presets are stored. And if I go into Lightroom, this is Lightroom. It's the exact same thing. Here are all of my presets. It's the exact same presets. There shouldn't be any problem there. There are lots of articles talking about how to move your presets from Camera Raw to Lightroom, but it is a seamless transition. You will not have to make anything new whenever you're moving to Lightroom. I actually started in Camera Raw and I lost thousands and thousands of edits regularly because it would open up like 500 images at a time. I would do a bunch of stuff and then my computer would freeze or Photoshop would randomly close. And it was so unfair because the thing that I hate about Camera Raw is that it doesn't actually start saving the changes that you've made to the XMP files until you hit done. It's only when you hit done that it starts saving the changes that you're making to the XMP files, and that's not the case in Lightroom. If I'm working in Lightroom and I'm making changes, if my computer randomly shuts down or if I close out of the program or anything happens, whenever I open up that program, it's gonna have automatically saved my changes, which again, I really like. There's no fear that I'm gonna be losing progress in Lightroom catalog, and I don't know if that's still an issue in Camera Raw, but that was always my thing with Camera Raw is like, man, I just lost 20 images that I was working on because Photoshop closed out or I didn't hit done or whatever the case may be. So in addition to using Lightroom to edit, I also cull in Lightroom, and I have talked about culling in other videos. I am going to be linking you guys to so many videos in the description because I have a lot of Lightroom ones sometimes I kind of feel like I'm jumping in the middle a little. So I have a video on how I import images into Lightroom after shooting that's going to show you exactly what it looks like when I import images into Lightroom. I also recommend, if you're just getting started in Lightroom, to check out the video on how and why I cull in Lightroom. This also shows how I import images and can be really helpful for figuring out culling. And this can help you get rid of a step like bridge or photo mechanic. I have a video on building a preset in Lightroom that I'm going to link to, a video on speeding up Lightroom, a video on why I only use one catalog for the year, and a couple more. But I really just want to sing the praises of just what Lightroom can do outside of just being exactly like Camera Raw. The biggest benefit to using Lightroom is the ability to build smart previews. Smart previews are built from your raw files. It has all the same information more or less as your raw files, but it's a much smaller version. So a raw file might be about 28 megabytes, and a smart preview is going to be about 1.5 megabytes at the most. Smart previews are the only thing that I take with me when I travel, and it's the only thing that editors need. The editors don't need you to figure out a way to send 60 gigabytes of photos to them. Just by you being able to make smart previews, you're able to create smaller versions of that file for easily transferable raw data. So if I'm going to a cafe, I am literally never going to bring an external hard drive with me. It's just not necessary, and I don't have to have a bunch of room on my computer for all the raw files. Smart previews are such a blessing. Smart previews are also really cool to keep on your computer because they're large enough so you're able to export to social media. Smart previews are about 2,500 pixels across, so you're actually able to print from them in an emergency situation. I don't recommend it. I think you can print 8x10s pretty seamlessly. Anything bigger than that and it might start to get dicey. Another thing that I love about Lightroom are the collections. If you scroll down beneath all of your presets, you get these smart collections. So I can look at everything in my catalog that's just colored red or just flagged 5 stars, but I can also create a custom smart collection so that I can filter things out. Like if I want to find like funny dance pictures from 2020, I would want to go to ratings that are greater than 5 stars. My flash state is fire because the only time that I really tend to fire my flash is during reception photos. And from the way that I flag stuff in Lightroom, that is going to pull up all of my best of the best images where I was also using flash and put them into a collection for me. I use collections all the time. This is the exact thing that I use whenever I'm putting articles together for you. These are all images from the USR 6. This is family sessions. This is literally all of my favorite family pictures put into one catalog so that I can update my portfolio. I did a Patreon post where I was showing high ISO, and these are the pictures that I pulled from this catalog. The collections are great because you don't have to make duplicates. You don't have to store them on your hard drive somewhere until you're ready to export them. Collections are a great way for you to update your portfolio. If you're using Lightroom syncing, you can sync just a collection to mobile. So if you want to be able to pull from images that exist on your Lightroom from the mobile app for you to upload to social media, you can. I know I'm talking so much because this was supposed to be an introduction to Lightroom, but it does so much. I even use the print module mostly for illustrations, but because I print stuff at home, I use the print module all the time. It's an easy way for you to add borders and stuff to your prints, and it makes it really easy for me to cut them out. Lightroom also lets you type in keywords whenever you're importing weddings, so if you want to flag specific venues or planners or florists or whatever that are associated with that wedding, you have the ability to do that. If you're smarter than me, you'll probably do that. And Lightroom allows for you to have multiple step exporting sequences. So if I want to export something, but then I want it to immediately open in JPEG Mini to downsize it, or if I want it to immediately open in Alien Skin to finalize it, then I have the ability to have it open in a second program as soon as it's done exporting all the images. So that is some of the things the Lightroom can do. It's basically Camera Raw as a catalog with a bunch of other fancy stuff that it can do mixed in with it. I've had a lot of conversations with you guys lately, and a lot of you are looking to outsource to buy some of your time back, especially now that things are getting a little bit crazy, or you're just still feeling the stress of all the things that feel stressful and you would like to buy some of your time back so that you can find time to rest. And if one of the things that's holding you back from outsourcing is that you don't want to learn a new program, I really wanted to show you that Lightroom and Camera Raw are almost the exact same thing, and I really don't think you'll have any problems. But if you have any specific questions, if the videos that I linked to below aren't helpful, if you want me to extrapolate on any of this, you know that I'm happy to do that. And if you're already super comfortable and happy in Lightroom, but you're not doing things like using one catalog for the full year, I also recommend checking out some of the videos. Some of them are over 2 years old at this point. I've been doing this for a while, y'all, and they might be worth revisiting because I am nothing if not obsessed with being efficient. It's not necessarily a good thing. I spend a lot of time building systems. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Nicole for this question. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.